Here's a story on this program that I really find interesting. Um, when I was young, I was learning, was being trained. The guy who trained me, he was a real hard ass. A lot of people didn't like him, didn't last with him very long. One day he told me, he was like, "You've been with me about 3 or 4 years." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I build fishermen." I'm kind of looking at him weird. I'm like, "Man, we got a lot to do here." So I just kind of look at him weird, but he told me, he says, Bible says, you give a man a fish, he has a meal for a day. You teach that man how to fish, he'll have a meal for life. And he said, I build fishermen. That's something that's always stuck with me in my life, because I train people just as well or even better than he had trained me. And I've taken a lot of young men, and lately nowadays a lot of young women, and I've trained them to be the best. I train them to be better than the best, because we create fishermen.
Tonight we have the story of one man's fishing journey. It began over a decade ago with a goal far greater than catching fish. CBS's Janet Shamlian has the story.
On a perfect day, 11 miles off the Florida coast, the fish are biting.
There you go, that's what it's about.
For angler William Big Will Dunn, the water feels like home. For 15-year-old Jerron Williams, it's a different story.
You've never been on a boat?
No, not at all. I'm very scared.
Real.
Dunn has taken thousands of kids fishing over the past dozen years.
I grew up in a rough school, and I was a pretty rough kid when I was their age. I still remember days when I went out with my dad.
A mission that began with a neighbor child whose dad wasn't around.
It was like a joy seeing this little boy catch a fish that he never caught in his life.
Soon he was digging into his savings to invest in other teens.
Got another.
Many, like 11-year-old Jaden, are without fathers.
You just get like this feeling of freedom when you do it. It's really special to be out here.
All are in need.
What is your reward?
My reward is, sorry, if I could just be a light for one kid, it's worth it all. Just one more.
For Jerron, lessons beyond how to reel one in.
Patient is key.
Yeah, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Necessary when fishing, essential for life. Janet Shamlian, CBS News, Clearwater, Florida.
If you teach a kid to fish, well, you know the rest. We'll be right back.